and this is what experience helps you with, because over time you get experience. You rate them, right? A, B, C, right? And A's are the ones you go, man, this one, there's a high probability of getting business through this relationship. Those are the ones that and depending on what kind of industry you're in the sales cycle and things like that, I may call this person. I might talk to this person once a month. I might talk to them every few days. I might talk to them every two, whatever it is. But I think in the background, what's going on too is you use technology. You're drip marketing on them because you have their email. So you want to email them. And I think what we use is a consistency of once a month. We email everybody, and then only the A's am I calling, because instead of calling a B or a C. Instead of calling them, I'd rather be calling, trying to get more people into my database and let my marketing work that B and C, my monthly marketing. And then once they respond, then I throw them in a different, like maybe they respond. So now they're an A, right? And maybe this A is now a B or a C, but with experience, you kind of, you get like the sixth sense, if you will, like where something's coming from. You just kind of know, and sometimes it's real clear, it's real evident, sometimes it's not. But I would only call my A's, and then the rest of the time, if I ran out of A's to call on, I'd only be calling to add more people to my list that I could drip market on. I don't call the B's and C's because I've already talked to them. The drip marketing's working. Let that be the case. Work my A's, work to get more people in there. Let the marketing deal with the B's and C's.
Yeah,
That's
that's how you make it big, and that's
mhm.
when people call, because most people don't have a very organized system. They might have a CRM, but still there's no rotation. Like Chuck talks
Right.
about, we do everything monthly, so they come around on a loop. Our A's come around on a loop to us. It's something that we built our own CRM to do this because nothing else would work.
Right.
And we started actually from a doing it on in files, hanging files. And so we labeled, 1 through 31 for whatever, day one to what day is today, whatever it is,
Ninth.
the ninth or whatever it might be. So today you'd pull out the nine folder and open it up, and this is before we had CRM, but this is what we built our CRM on, is this rotating system. And then you have a file for every month. So
Mhm.
if you're we're in September right now. If it's like, I'm going to give this guy a call back, and sometime in December, well, I'll throw it in December, and then in the last day of November, I open up December and I go, oh, okay, I'm going to put these in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever day. So anyway, this it rotates. Uh, the problem with that is somebody calls and you've got 1,000 little paper contacts. You don't know who they are. But if you have them in a CRM, but people don't know how to use a CRM. They don't individualize it to the system that is building this massive referral network, because there's CRMs don't come with any plan. They come with no system. You
Right.
have to understand what your system is and then get a CRM that can do that, instead of all the magical stuff that the programmers program it to do, that they've never sold anything in their lives. But it sounds good. It advertises great. The marketing people can use slick words, and
Right.
then you get it and you can't figure out why you
Why
keep
it's not
falling short.
working?
But yeah, but you said, well, what do you talk to them about? Uh, what we do is, we have in the CRM that we built over on the side, uh, or in it, we have like it's actually yellow, and it looks like a post-it note, and it's the stuff that when you call somebody and I go, hey Ian, how's it going? And maybe I know something about you from other conversations that's about you that I'd want to remember. Oh, how old's your daughter now? You've
Mhm.
got two? Oh my gosh. And maybe you brought up swimming. Oh, what's your daughter doing in the,
Mhm.
how's she doing swimming?
Mhm.
And you go, how on earth it's like, wow, you remember that? No, I don't remember that. I put it in the notes.
Mhm.
So there's a million examples of, not a million, because I haven't, don't have a million contacts, but most of all the contacts I ever have, the little things that I learn about them in conversation, I put in notes. History is a different thing. Like, oh, they ordered blah 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 blah. That's their history. But if there's something like, what I want to talk to them about is often personal. Hey, how's whatever.
Hmm.
Is Libby still playing volleyball? Michael plays football. Uh, I always too. Um, One of the things our CRM does is when you put in a zip code, the weather pops up. Everybody wants to talk about the weather. And when I click on their address, it shows it on a map. I can see like, oh, you're downtown Minneapolis. Wow, you know
Mhm.
that burned down again, or whatever. Probably don't want to bring that up, but
Yeah.
but oh, how far are you from the? Like, I can see that you're close to the baseball stadium. I go, how far are you
Right.
from? Are you near the baseball stadium? Oh yeah, we're only two
Yeah.
blocks away. Oh,
Don't
I mean,
say
our
I see you're close to the stadium. Don't say
no, God, don't do that.
that.
No, don't. No, 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 no. Don't
Yeah.
say that. That's really Big Brothers. But you
Yeah.
use this stuff, right? This is the conversation that you have,
Right.
and or these are the parts of the conversation that you have. Uh, and then if something comes up that's noteworthy like that, I can put it in notes.
Hmm.
So I know what to talk about the next time. We do have important dates. So if I do know their birthday, then I put that in there, and I will look on like Monday morning, or Monday morning. I'll run a search for uh, all important days between this Monday and Friday, and everybody that pops up, I'll call and wish them a happy birthday. I hope they don't answer, because I'd rather just be a voicemail. Hey, I saw your birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you're well. That's it. I'm not selling them anything. I'm just wishing them a happy birthday, and I'm out. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's how I do it. And on that first call too, I might, and then I'll go, hey, let me send you something, and then take a look at it, and I'll give you a jingle, and we'll catch up to you next week. And so I'll put them in for next week, and that helps me to determine after that first and second conversation if they're an A, B, or C.
Right.
Mhm.
And now they're in rotation,
Yep.
and most of them are going to be C's. This is again how you can have thousands and thousands of people in your network and not be chasing anybody except the very tip top, the highest potential that you can see of
Hmm.
doing business. And when your system rotates around and you click the button that says give me the A's that I need to call today, and it's empty, well, then you click on all the people, like those ones that you haven't yet contacted,
Mhm.
and you go, okay, now I'm adding those, and now you're sorting those out. All it is a sorting process to build this massive referral network and make connections, have conversations,
Mhm.
and then you want them to call you or refer people in. Now you've got people calling you going, hey, I heard you do this.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, how do you hear about us? Oh, Jim over at blah blah, the insulin clinic, or well,
Right.
whatever it is.
Mhm.
Well, he brain surgeryed me, or whatever the case is, and you go, oh yeah, I had brain surgery with him too, or whatever. Oh, we went trout fishing, or whatever the case. Oh, okay. So they trust the recommender enough to call you. The trust is already there. You have a good conversation. You know, and they go, oh yeah, can you, yeah, that's the convert, you get most of that, you get a lot of that business. We get most of the bit when somebody calls you. What are the chances you're going to get the business? Pretty high,
Well,
right?
Mhm.
But,
80,
pretty
90%.
high.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. When our experiences, depends how good you are, but like when we do it ourselves, we'll get to 80-90%, at least 75, that say yes. Now, if, a third of those are going to fall through, and you're going to end up with 50% of, we end up with 50% of everybody who calls us, when it net. Now, we hire people to do this, and they're not as good, and they might end up with a third of everybody that calls in, but still a third, a 33% close ratio. You talk to anybody in sales, and it's like, that is absolutely an astronomical number.
Hmm.
Usually it's less than 1%. And so you're getting 66 times. How's that even? They don't, it doesn't even compute to them. They have no idea, but it's a totally different system. These people are cold calling, going, "Hey, we could manufacture your drug." Click, you know,
Yep.
you know. Um, so it's a different process, and those people typically that are doing cold calls have to advertise. They've got a marketing department, advertising department, all this stuff. You've got to sell. You've got to do it's, and now you've got to, you see people saying things in advertising that if you're in the industry, that can't be true. you
Right.
know, and now you have to be an advertiser and you have to pay for advertising and it's expensive and it doesn't work. And you just hope that we call it hope advertising. When you pay for advertising, you pay up front and hope it works. We pay nothing and build relationships, get business coming to us. And we talked about this from from the perspective of freedom. We just built it in what I just described. We just built it.
Yep.
What's better, having to create advertising, do cold calls, and hope that everything pans out and hate it, or have all these conversations, smooth with the people, and you go, okay, A, B, and C them. Contact your O's only, A's only, lay the rest off the marketing. Contact people that you don't know yet.
Well, and you think about it, if you're gonna if you rely solely on your paid marketing that you're doing, that only has, like, you ever get a flyer or you see an ad in an email or you see something, it's got a very short shelf life. So you have to constantly buy more marketing, right? If you're going to expand, you got to buy more marketing. Here, yeah, it's your time, you're making phone calls, you're establishing those relationships, but there comes a time in everyone's, I think, career where they go, I don't need to worry about adding more people because I'm so free at this point. I think I'm just going to kind of, it's got long legs on it. You're still going to
Got
get
really long
referrals.
legs.
You're still going to email every month to everybody. You're going to call a few. Your calls may slow down over time because you're free. You're going, because that's the objective, right? Is to get to the point where you don't have to grind so hard every day. The machine is doing most of the work for you. But to build that machine, it takes a lot. It takes some commitment. It takes being consistent and going, okay, I have 10 A's now because I'm just starting in this deal. I called my 10 A's. Now I'm going to spend the other 4.75 days trying to add more people to my database, hit all the not yet contacted. And then next week, wow, I've got 15 A's. And then you keep doing that. And I got 15 A's, but I got 400 people that are B's and C's, and I'm just going to drip on. So if every week I'm adding 300 people to my list, or 100 even, so I'm adding 400 people a week or a month to my list. At the end of the year, I got 4,000 or 5,000 people in there. What are the odds then? Your odds look a
And what
lot
would it
better, right?
cost if you were paying for advertising? What would it
Oh, to reach
cost to reach
to
those specific 4,000? Actually, that they would. How would you do? What would that cost? How would you
you
even
can't
do it?
quantify that because you're not reaching them. When you
Right,
call
you're not
them and you
reaching them.
talk to them, you're reaching them. You're reaching them as intimately as you can possibly reach them to introduce what you have going on, whatever it may be. And it's less, it's so like, and I don't want to say, it's what do you always say? It's a half priest, half ninja or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so
Assassin, half priest, half
assassin.
assassin.
Yes. That's half priest, half assassin. The process is so much more calm, which I like calm. I like chaos when I'm trying to figure out how to get 10 applications done today because I'm going to have a $4,000 day. I love that kind of chaos. I don't like the other chaos. I like it. I like just nice, hard, steady, just keep after it, stay consistent. And if you look at any athlete in the world, doesn't matter what sport, they're very regimented in their practice routines, right? If you're a golfer, you're going to go, I'm working on my driver at noon, then this afternoon I'm going to work on chipping, and then I'm going to work on. They're very deliberate in what they're working on, and they're consistently doing it all the time. So those are, like, let's say those are the top 1% in the world. Well, if you want to be the top 1% in your business, shouldn't you be doing the same thing, consistently doing this? Call my A's. Oop, I'm out of A's. Okay, now I'm adding more people to my list. If I just stay after it, what happens is people call and they go, I didn't get a referral all week. And they go, yeah, that could happen. That very well could happen. But
Especially at first.
at first, yeah, you stick to it. If you're
It,
only going to
it
get,
does happen at first.
and it does happen. Let's say you only get one referral out of 100 people that you talk to, and that starts a month later. I want a lot of hundreds in my database, right? To make up the numbers that I need. So I can't just go, it doesn't work. I only got one referral. Well, how many people did you call? I called 100. Okay, great. You know what's so awesome about that is now you know the number. Now you have a baseline. I have a baseline. 100 people I call, I get one referral. Well, if I need 5 referrals this week, I better be making 100 phone calls a day then. I better be on this bad boy. I better figure out where can I get that. And then once you handle a referral properly from someone, you call them. What happens post referral? Hey, Ian, man, thanks for sending John over. We talked. We're getting them all squared away. Really appreciate it. Ian hangs up the phone. Ian feels good. Ian goes, man, I'm going to send another referral. And maybe Ian does again. And then maybe I go, hey, look, here's a gift card for you and your wife to go out to dinner. Ian feels even greater. Now Ian wants to look for more referrals. It's all, you got to understand psychology. You got to
Yeah,
understand how
remember
people
these are
think.
referrers too. You're
Right.
connecting with referrers, recommenders. These aren't your clients.
No.
So how many like when you connect with the referrer, how many potential clients do they have access to? And because they're when something comes up in conversation, they go, oh, if you've kept in contact and kept on
Mhm.
their mind, like we do every month.
Yeah.
They're at a cocktail party, they're at a business get together, so they're talking about something. Go, oh, you know what? I know a guy. You should get, I'll give you his info. I don't have it right here, or you know what? I do. I can get it off my phone. It's
Mhm.
right here. Why don't you give this guy a call?
Mhm.
They're. It's like you've got however many in your however many refers. That's how many like bird dogs. How
Mhm.
many
Mhm.
bird dogs you've got out there? How many bird dogs do you want? And and I would say too I don't feel like I need to beat anybody. And it's like if I you know all I want is all the business that I want to build the life that I want.